Supplements, they can be a massive minefield. So whether you're trying to increase your endurance, increase your performance in other sports, your power, your strength, or drop body fat, even just simply like increasing your health, what supplements should you take? What supplements shouldn't you take? Are there going to be benefits that people report that really aren't true? I'm going to go through a few supplements now and tell you whether the science behind it actually adds up without going in depth, just so you know what to take and what not to take. The age-old caffeine. We love it. We love chucking a coffee down our necks. We're in a nation where people love coffee left, right and centre. They go to work with a coffee in their hand. They come home from work, they've got coffee in their hand. Lunchtime, coffee in their hand. But is caffeine really going to be that massive, massive benefit to your performance that everyone makes it out to be? First off, as we know, it's not the coffee. It is the caffeine within it. It is a central nervous system stimulant, and people use it in order to give themselves a little bit of a boost. Now, the science behind it says that, yes, it will improve performance. However, it doesn't improve performance in short, high-intensity exercise bursts. So please bear that in mind. L-carnitine. Now, L-carnitine, it's been in the press a little bit recently. It's an amino acid essentially. It's shown apparently to improve fat oxidation and also to increase your VO2 max. Every athlete seems to want to do this. But when we look at the science behind it, unfortunately, it doesn't show strong scientific evidence that it's actually uptaken by the muscles in amounts that are actually going to be any effect at all. So honestly, we wouldn't really worry about that too much. Creatine, that massive thing that loads of bodybuilders have had. The trouble with that is that endurance athletes have actually been shying away from it. But is it going to be a benefit? Now, creatine is going to get your strength levels up. It is going to reduce your fatigue. It's going to get your power up. And also it can actually increase your protein synthesis, meaning, as we know, recovery from that is going to be better. However, is that true? Well, creatine has a lot of scientific evidence and it does show these things to be true. It is going to improve your performance in single and repeat efforts. It is also going to be that thing that really does help you increase your recovery rates. The only thing to bear in mind is that creatine draws water into the muscle. So whilst it's not water that's going to be under your skin, blurring it, that a lot of people think it is, providing you've got the carbohydrates in you, it is going to potentially make you put on a little bit of weight. So if you're looking for big climbs and things like that, maybe creatine, the benefits do not outweigh the negatives behind it. So just bear that in mind when taking it on board. And if you are judging yourself by the scales, we already know not to do that, but this will be a reason why. Fish oils. We've seen so many people go through fish oils. Now, first off is getting a decent fish oil. And people say that for performance levels, not necessarily just for health benefits, but for performance that it could increase your VO2 max. Unfortunately, there is no supporting evidence for this. So what we look to do with clients is that we may get them on fish oils, but I would much rather have people have decent oils, decent fats throughout their diets. Get the natural formats in there. And if you are going to get some fish oils, cod liver oil and things like that, get the fermented variety because they're going to be much better deliverance with their actual health benefits for you. But for performance, for increasing that VO2 max, there's no supporting evidence. L-glutamine, another amino acid. Now this is reported to increase your immune function. Also to increase your muscle glycogen resynthesis, meaning your recovery is going to be better between sets. It's also generally for your recovery and also to increase your endurance. Is this something which would work? Now, there's no reported immune effect on this. There's a possible effect with the muscle glycogen resynthesis when we look at the different reports, but what it does help with is something called osmosis. When you have a lot of drink, you have a lot of water as you're going along, if you put glutamine in there, it helps to sort of draw it up through the muscle, through the stomach fibers, and really get that into the muscles where it can do its work, without getting that water sloshing about with all the carbs in your stomach, which can cause a lot of GI distress. So I would highly recommend it for endurance athletes. MCT oils, medium chain triglycerides. Now, there is a massive hype about this at the moment. It's the fatty acids essentially that are derived from coconut oils. It's said to give you increased energy with that bulletproof coffee. It's said to stop your muscle glycogen breakdown, and it's said to improve your performance. There's no supporting evidence of this, so please do not get hyped up by the marketing behind it, this bulletproof coffee and all this sort of stuff, because having loads and loads of calories in a coffee is more a placebo effect. And you could have 500-600 calories, but that's a massive meal. Do you really want to drink in like a little coffee like this? Do you really want to drink that much and have 500-600 calories? I mean, honestly, I'd rather go to McDonald's and have a milkshake. Each to their own, I guess. Sodium bicarbonate and sodium citrate. Now, these two are very well known in the endurance world. They're said to help with buffering lactic acid, help to increase your high intensity exercise performance. And yeah, they do this. What I would watch out is that do not try these on race day unless you've tried them in training. Too much one way can actually have a little bit of negative effects on GI distress. Too much the other way and you don't get any result at all. So everyone is different. So to say a specific guideline to try, start small and go up from there. But try it in training first. Training is not just for training your programming, it is for training your nutrition as well. So please do this. Whey protein. This is a big thing here, and I see a lot of endurance athletes. I've seen whey protein. Should I take it? Even my sister, who's a very good high-level runner, said, should I take a whey protein shake after my run? Now, she's already won the Cambridge Half Marathon a few years ago. She is at a good level. So if she's not taking this, then you can actually look to benefit from it. And the performance is just going to really help. What is whey protein? Well, whey protein is a waste product just skimmed off the top of milk when it's separated. It's separated from the whey and the casein. Now, it is essentially a natural product. Rather than being a supplement, it is a food product, essentially. And it is exactly the same, in effect, as having a chicken breast as having a protein shake. So, for people that think it's not natural to have a whey protein shake, yes, it really is. So protein is going to help you with your recovery. It's going to help you with your performance. So it'll help reduce the risk of injury. There's going to be calcium in there. There's going to be other amino acids, and these are going to be essential for your immune function. So whey protein, yes, I highly recommend it for everyone. Not necessarily athletes, but anyone struggling to get their protein in their diet. Beta-alanine. Now, beta-alanine is kind of marketed more for the strength, the aesthetic world, but essentially it would actually do a little bit more for helping performance athletes for endurance. It helps kind of allow you to flush your lactic acid through a bit more, so you can push a bit harder and essentially get better in your performance. What I would say is that don't take it close to training at first, because you get tingles and your ears will tingle, your nose will tingle, and you'll be wanting to itch your eyes out of your eyeballs. It sounds horrible, but it does wear off after about 5 minutes. And after you've got some in your system, after about a week, then it can actually just disappear like that effect. It's still working. It takes about 12 weeks to get in your system to really see the effects. So having about 5 grams a day, the science behind it shows it does work. Beetroot. It's more of a food, this, rather than an actual supplement, but you can get it in supplement form because the amount of beetroot you would have to actually really get the effects is going to be quite high. So beetroot is full of nitrates, just like some other foods as well, but the beetroot, like the nitrates in the beetroot, are going to really help you with your performance. Essentially, we get a lot of energy wasted from going through the system, going through the metabolism and things like this to actually get into, say, the pedals. The feet as we're running, the pedals as we're cycling, as you're swimming, going through the stroke. We lose a lot of energy. Essentially what nitrate does, it raises your nitrate oxide in your body, in your bloodstream. And this is actually going to be really good for you because it essentially allows more energy to be directed into the mechanics of moving you forward, which is what we want in endurance, to get from start to finish. Essentially as well, when it comes to other sports, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strength and things like this, then it can also help you a little bit there. But for endurance, it's going to be really good, and we have seen a lot of the commercial availability of beetroot shots in so many shops nowadays. Hopefully from this little video you've been able to see some of the supplements which I will and I won't recommend to clients. If you are still confused or you want to talk further about really increasing your performance, get that accountability and get me as your personal coach, please do get in touch. Ollie at athleteupgradecoach.com.